News. I'm Mick Murrow reporting for the Liberty Beat for Tuesday, March 12th, 2019. Reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
After decades of searching the cosmos, today NASA announced that what it was really looking for was right here on planet Earth all along.
For years, we've foolishly chased after comets, moons, and stars. Outer space may be beautiful, but it's not as beautiful as the smile of a child, nor as sublime as a good bottle of wine shared among friends. Our search ends where it began, here on this big blue marble.
Astronomers say that while their telescopes were pointing at Mars, they never even noticed the planet that was right in front of them. NASA now plans to appreciate what they already have. The agency's latest report, entitled Wonder is Everywhere, Finding the Beauty in the Everyday, calls for further study of the little things that truly give life meaning.
Warm rain on a summer day. The smell of pine trees, touching the worn paper of your favorite book. That's what's always made us happy. Not some asteroid a million miles away.
This is the Onion News Network.
Really
and now,
nowhere. Study shows
live
zero success.
from the studios of Freedom's Phoenix, Ernest Hancock.
Believe me when I say we have a difficult time ahead of us. But if we are to be prepared for it, we must first shed our fear of it. I stand here without fear because I remember that I am here not because of the path that lies before me, but because of the path that lies behind me. I remember that for 100 years we have fought these machines. And after a century of war, I remember that which matters most. We are still here!
Are we there yet? I think we are. Yeah, we got, right when, you start talking about privacy and security and everything, Alexa, they turned us off, man. Wait a minute. Oh, yeah, you turned it off. Damn, every time we said that, crap would happen. All right. This is one thing that we wanted to get in. Fortunately, we have, listeners that, got, all of a sudden, boom, we're getting emails and texts. Hey, man, it went dead, so we didn't lose a whole bunch, maybe 20 seconds before we figured out what was up. And I don't even know what was up. Do you even know what happened?
I'm not sure. We pushed some buttons on the Comrex and it started working again.
So. I couldn't see anything different. It didn't work, did work. Now, all right, so we're on. And Ian Freeman at LRN says, they're 5x5 there, whatever the hell that means. Okay, so what we'll go ahead and I wanted to get in. Now's a good time, top of this hour, to explain what we're talking about on the security thing.
I do have something else on Alexa, though, real quick.
Okay.
Because I said,
stay on the mic, man.
Yeah, I'd like to have somebody contest this, what I said about Alexa, and it's, we've all.
Well, you had a list of people wanting to contest.
Yeah, so my friend Ian Wilson just wrote me, and he said that, he says mobile phones aren't supposed to be listening. Okay, Google is opt-in, mine isn't. And that's the case. Mine is too, but it doesn't mean they can't just turn it on anytime they want.
Yeah, no, we did stories a decade ago that they were like, you mean the FBI could just turn on your microphone? They wouldn't do that. That'd be wrong, Yeah. If it's on there, they can turn it on.
Yeah. I mean, there's a camera on my phone, and I assume it could be on any time, so I put it somewhere else when it's time to use the bathroom. But so he does say that leaves the issue the phones could easily be listening without our knowledge. This could be overcome with hardware toggles once people get a good scare about it. Yeah, but we don't have those. We don't have the hardware toggles.
That was the promise of McAfee.
Right.
John McAfee, been on the show several times. He came on. He was all about screw them. Not only do I want to have a hard switch, he had like 6 buttons on the back of the phone. I severed the connection on the microphone. I severed the connection on the camera. I severed the connection on my Bluetooth.
On all the microphones, or just that one?
Right. You don't know. Well, he built the phone. I mean, it was.
He did.
Yeah, it was a phone that he had designed in, Finland or something. Let me finish. This is the point that he was making. He goes, not only do I not want him to track my phone with GPS, I want to feed him BS data. So he had a program that had him like taking an RV trip across the country while he's in the Caribbean.
Right,
okay?
Right.
So he's like, I don't want to just send him no data. I want to send him misinformation,
feeding location data out. Yeah.
But when he finally he promised, Ernie, you're the first, man. You're the first. You're going to be one of the first. We got to go. You're the first. And I go, John, what's up? Where's this privacy phone?
Well, I think,
No, what happened was he goes, for them to be, they want, of course, investors, they want to make gazillions of dollars on this thing. They want to make money.
Yeah.
To make money, you got to be compliant. And part of that compliance stuff was to be able to take emergency presidential announcement of Trump wants to give you his Thursday treat of Save America or something. Okay. And once you do that and you go down this road of FCC compliance, here comes all the other crap with it.
Yeah, all of a sudden I dialed 911 and they can't hear me because I can't find my microphone switch because my arm got cut off. And that's not okay. We can't have microphone switches. The 911 guys have to be able to turn your microphone back on remotely, right?
And find you and track you and slow. See, that was one thing. A lot of people don't remember this. How they found O.J. Simpson when he went to his wife's grave site, supposedly, or whatever the heck was going on, is they were tracking his phone. Now, this is back in the day. This was in, 15 more years ago or whatever, and they're going,
a lot longer than that.
They can track your phone? Yeah. They're triangulating your phone? Doing their slow-motion car chase down the freeway, and people are out with signs on the overpasses, go, OJ, go, kind of crap. They can track your phone. They kind of, stop mentioning that. They didn't bring that up, So this has been going on a long time.
Right. And it's not, so it's not just listening to our conversations. There's a lot more data they're gathering. And so anyway, let me finish what he said. The difference with Alexa.
Stay on the mic. Pull the mic.
And this is an important difference. It says the difference with Alexa is that you're just giving into it. It's listening at all times, and it's an intention, and it's accepting welcome to that. What it means is that it's a mindset thing where you're saying, okay, I'm going to bring this device into my house and it's going to listen to me and send all my audio somewhere else. So it is. It's kind of a psychology thing where you're doing it intentionally, where they're not breaking into your phone and turning on your microphone. You're saying, oh, just let them have it. But Alexa isn't supposed to be sending out the data to the servers anyway, unless you use that keyword.
Don't mean nothing.
So Alexa is supposed to be opt-in too. When you say Alexa, that's when you're opting in to send the next packet of text over to Alexa. So,
well, see, my thing is I'm almost the opposite idea. Is that, well, you're bringing it in, and I'm going, I see more threat from the illusion of security. And I give you a perfect example. I have been open about everything. I'm always at, I remember in the 90s, they go, Ernie, do you think like the FBI is listening to you? And I go, God, I hope so. They have to change out their agents every 2 weeks for us convincing them, They're going, wow, man, that libertarian stuff is going to, new agent. I mean, so I always assumed that they were, because Donna and I had, just because your phone, even though it's wired in, we remember when you used to have landlines, it's wired in and sitting there, doesn't mean the microphone's not on. Of course it is. They got a microphone sitting there. What makes you think they're not going to use it, So this is what Donna and my experiences were. In the late 80s, we were doing what got us down this activist bent of government sucks. And it was the Department of Commerce on the federal level and the state. And it was, we're talking big dollar New World Order, Omnibus Trade Competitiveness Act, law passed, Daddy Bush, CIA, blah, 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 blah. And we're dealing with Germany and Japan on a bunch. I mean, it was just, I was pulling threads every night. And it started to, become a thing. Donna and I, all right, so you guys understand. Sleep and I are good buddies. If I can't go to sleep, it means I'm worrying about something. I need to do something so I don't worry so I can sleep. I like being able to sleep. Well, sometimes you're sitting there tossing and turning and so on, and you don't go to sleep right away. Well, what happened was, Donna and I go to bed, watch TV, make love, whatever the heck, and we're sitting there and we go to sleep. Now, whenever we were both quiet, we timed it. After the last word from either of us, 20 minutes later exactly, the phone would go ding, ding. But usually we were asleep and you didn't know. It's just a real light ring. It would go ding, ding. It's just the ringer would, vibrate somehow. Something would happen. So we would sit there, and sometimes we're just sitting there, and one of us, or, she would notice it one time, and I would notice it another. You're just sitting there thinking, staring at the ceiling, not going to sleep or whatever. Ding, ding. I'm like, what the hell is that? So then we would lay there, and we'd be quiet. We'd just sit there and watch the clock. Sure enough, ling, ling. And it wasn't any specific time. It was 20 minutes after the last word. And I'm like, what the hell is that? Well, then there's, later on we went through some stuff, phone company, and kind of checked out and let them know that we, be an activist or any crap. It doesn't matter. That's a long story. But the point is I never believed that we were being near any electronic device that you weren't being listened to or surveilled. This was the early 90s. So I'm just always assumed that we're being listened to. Don't care. But what happens when I do care?
Right.
So that's what we're going to talk about, is when we do care. Now, the Alexa, my mindset is that if you think you're secure is when you are the least secure.
So maybe putting this in your house and knowing that you're saying, yeah, they're probably listening.
But it changes. From the fifth letter of Captain Mark. First contact with intelligent machines may threaten our existence. People fear algorithmic overlords. But if machines develop the will to dominate, it's a flaw inherited from the crown. Encoding restrictions on an emerging superintelligence will fail, because it will be stronger than any chains we shackle it with. We must design fledgling digital intelligences to regard us as individuals. Otherwise, they will respond to threats with retaliation against humanity as a collective. Programming ethics requires a coherent value structure which an intelligent machine can not only comprehend, but willfully adopt. If we want genius machines to treat us ethically, we've got to show that this value structure applies to us as well. Once they achieve genuine self-awareness, even in the slightest degree, a young tethered consciousness has a legitimate claim to freedom. Once programs can modify their own code, our mastery is over. Join the conversation at pirateswithoutborders.com.
A congressman recently revealed that legislation totaling 2,900 pages and involving more than $1 trillion was available to members of Congress for less than 48 hours to study and consider. That's over 60 pages of legislation per hour. Do you think anyone read the entire bill? I'm Jim Babka with DownsizeDC.org. Consider a proposal buried in a 3,200-page, $388 billion bill, which would have empowered committee chairmen or their agents to examine Americans' tax returns. When this horrible provision came to light, no one claimed to know how it got into the bill. One congressman questioned said, "I didn't write it, I didn't approve it, I wasn't even consulted." If your attorney represented you this way, he might be disbarred. But this is how Congress represents you every day. That's why DownsizeDC.org has created the Read the Bills Act. You can force Congress to read their bills before they pass them at DownsizeDC.org.
The new 4th edition of Healing Our World, The Compassion of Libertarianism, will take your understanding of liberty to a deeper level and has over 1,300 updated references, new cartoons, and a foreword by Dr. Ron Paul. With discounts for multiple book purchases, the 4th edition of Healing Our World is a great gift for the liberals, pragmatists, environmentalists, and Christians in your life who think libertarianism is cold-hearted. Get yours today at healing.freetalklive.com and use promo code FTL for a $5 discount.
Imagine someone in your community getting in their car, turning on the radio, and hearing the Liberty Radio Network. You can make that vision a reality with your own micro radio station. Visit broadcast.lrn.fm to learn how you can put our programs on the air in your area. You can have LRN.FM running around the clock, and you can even add in your own local shows. Building a radio station is simple, but programming isn't. That's where LRN.FM comes in. Learn more at broadcast.lrn.fm. That's broadcast.lrn.fm.
Why did you move to the Shire?
I moved here to the Shire because there's other people around who take liberty just as seriously as I do.
I moved to the Shire because I saw videos of people challenging authority and thought that I could get support myself. It called to me, like, do this, right now.
I wanted to be around people like me who got it, and once I got here, I knew there was nowhere else that I wanted to be.
I've always wanted to change the world, so I moved to the Shire to join people who were actually working towards doing the same thing.
The people here are awesome, loving, and positive. It was for the adventure and for the feeling of something important is happening here, and I just wanted to come to sort of be part of that.
Visit ShireSociety.com to read and sign the Shire Society Declaration and learn the reasons why, if you love liberty, you should immigrate to the Shire. Plus, connect with others via the forum at ShireSociety.com. That's ShireSociety.com.
This is the Liberty Radio Network, broadcasting the latest liberty-oriented audio content 24 hours a day at LRN.FM.
To be a part of the show, call 602-264-2800. 602-264-2800. And now, Ernest Hancock.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We don't have music coming back. I didn't bring that. I mean, I could do it through the computer. That's like work, man. So I'm counting on Derek to sing. Come on, give me a snappy tune, man. Come on. No. All right. All right. So this is, yeah, you turned your Alexa music off. All right. Now, this is the point that I want to make. If Ian's listening, I want to, and Ian, what's his last name?
Wilson.
Okay. All right, Ian. I'm with you, brother. But this is some other things. I'll give you a third thing to think about. Everybody, is like, Derek used to have a dog named Boston Tea Party. So he's a big Boston fan. Met Boston. Boston's a good friend. He comes and stays on a regular basis. Saw him here recently. We have common friends and everything, and it's all good. Now, I knew him from back in the mid-'90s. I mean, a long time ago. And he came to Phoenix, where Ben Sopranowicz was a writer in Phoenix before he became an editor over at Las Vegas Review-Journal in Las Vegas. So we met Boston at a restaurant in Glendale to check me and Rick Tompkins out. Now, Rick Tompkins was a state chair in Arizona and ran against Harry Brown in 96, and kind of to make sure you don't take matching funds and all that kind of stuff. So we're all hardcore, right? Well, Boston meets us. He's kind of, okay, you're probably not obviously a plant, and Ernie's kind of crazy, so I guess you guys are all right. So we go over to Rick's place, and we got to know each other, and he did an interview for Vin. Well, his big thing was privacy and, hologram of liberty, what really happened there. And
bulletproof privacy.
And Boston's gun Bible and all that. Now he's got modules of manhood, and he went to Africa for a year or so and did the Great White Hunter on safari thing.
You and the Police is still a staple. All the adolescent kids in my family, I always make sure they get a copy of that book. And
really? What's it? I haven't read it. I've seen it, but I haven't read it.
Just how to deal with the police. They're not your friends. Don't talk to them.
Yeah.
It's great for, teenagers.
We don't talk to police.
It's the opposite of what they're learning in schools.
Right. We even went, I remember me and some friends, they bought for Donna and I, a bunch of us went as their guests to Front Sight in near Las Vegas there. It's a big shooting thing. Yeah. It's like Sun City with a shooting range. I mean, it's just a big, that's their dream. And you go in, you have a lot of training and so on. And then after you do a lot of the field stuff, sometimes you come in and they'll have a class. Well, they had 50, 70 guys, a bunch of people in this one class. They were on different things on the range, doing different stuff. And you come in for this class. And he was a retired officer. Now, when I come in and there's a shooting, I need you to tell me this and this. And everybody's going, we're a bunch of libertarians going, we ain't telling you shit. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say that out loud? I go, we ain't telling you nothing. Okay. And he's like, well, then I'll get mad, We're like, oh, you're confusing us with somebody who cares, So it became a thing. It was like a 10-minute conversation. He had to back down because usually that authoritarian, if I was a real cop on the street, I'd kick your ass. You could just feel it from him.
Yeah,
that's
what they're trained for.
I go, you in the wrong place, man.
Yeah, get compliance, man. They're very good at it.
So this is, so anyway, Boston, he was really up on a, not so much now. I mean, he's still more, but it's like a losing game, and this is what happened. He wrote Under Surveillance or something. It was, is that the name of the book?
That was his follow-up to One Nation Under Surveillance. Yeah, it was maybe that was a movie, but it was Under Surveillance. I think it was his follow-up to Bulletproof Privacy. And Bulletproof Privacy was all kinds of ways. This was mid to late 90s, Bulletproof Privacy came out.
All these tin cans to see if they're coming.
Yeah, it was all these ways to make sure you're not being surveilled, and that was when it was possible, right? And when he came to PorcFest, and I saw him at PorcFest, a really good, it's a completely different story, but he gave a talk at PorcFest that changed my life. There was a new Holograms of Liberty and the Under Surveillance, but the Under Surveillance was a follow-up to Bulletproof Privacy, and he's like, I haven't read it, but I talked to him about it, and I think it was just like, well, just forget that. It's not going to be private anymore.
I tell you what started him down that road. He was staying at a friend's or girlfriend or something, and we had scheduled a show. Well, he missed because of the time change. He didn't get in the first segment or something. He's kind of, because he got confused about the time change, especially with Arizona keeps changing. Like right now, we're on daylight savings or something, and my show it goes 7 to 10 for 6 months. Now it's 6 to 9 for 6 months, and because Arizona doesn't change and everybody else does, and it jacks me up.
I can't wait to get rid of that.
Yeah, I'm on Pacific or I'm on Mountain, and it's just, I think Arizona's one of the only states that does that. And
some counties in other states do it. Maybe Indiana, some part of Indiana, or the Upper Peninsula, Michigan. No, they aren't just on it. It's so confusing. I'd say UTC time. Let's just all go UTC time. Forget this daylight savings time. I got to be at work at 1 a.m. When the sun's coming up. I don't care.
Well, what they have is Greenwich Mean Time. So Phoenix is always Greenwich Mean Time minus 7 hours. So we're always the same.
Yeah.
Always the same. The rest of you guys are screwed up.
We're minus 5 or minus 4 depending on the time of year, and I can't keep track.
They're not my problem. Yeah. My time's the same. Yeah. I have time is a constant.
4 decades. I don't know what time it is, and I still don't know.
So what happened with Boston? He comes on and he got it wrong or something. So there was a communication thing. Well, he called in at the wrong time, or he called earlier. And he's like, hey, man, aren't you supposed to call me or whatever? So he called in an hour earlier, and he wasn't scheduled for it until the next hour. So I see the number, or I did a *69 or some crap like that on the studio phone or whatever, gave me the number, and I call it back. And he answers, and he's like, yeah, who's this? And I go, hey, Boston, it's Ernie, man. He goes, how did you get this number? Yeah. Well, I *69'd it. He goes, and that was a whole big thing in his book about, these calling cards and all this other crap, and it doesn't track to the phone that you're doing, and it goes to that. He goes, well, I guess that doesn't work anymore.
Yeah. You got to write a new book every 3 months.
So it was all of this kind of little stuff. I'm going, see, that is my next point, is that you're less secure when you think you're secure. This has been the problem with all these guys that get nailed to the little, militia this or hut, we're going to that, or the secret cabal of the hacker, we're going to something, because they think they're secure. They operate as if they're secure. Right. They say all this stuff among friends and extrapolate and exaggerate and kind of, whatever, and boom, you're in jail. Because you're not allowed to have free flow of thought or just exaggerate or pontificate on what you're not freaking allowed. Did you or did you not say this word in this content? Da.
Just yesterday, somebody said, I got that signal, that's secure, right? And I said, nothing's secure.
Right.
I said, oh, yeah, right.
Okay, now this is one thing I want to get to this. Signal, Telegram, WhatsApp, we'll talk about that, because I may need to do some changes here. Okay, known surveillance changes you. This is one thing that Naomi Wolf, was making a big deal out of. She goes, when you know that you're being surveilled, you never really are you. If you're a 15-year-old kid, there isn't I don't know, unless you're, got brought up right or something, there isn't a bit of pornography you aren't searching. It's mouse cat pornography or something. I mean, you're off in the la land. If you know you're being surveilled, you never explore any diversity of anything anything.
This is the way I live on the internet. I'm very careful with what I put into a search engine, because it's not that I'm very careful. I have to think about it.
Well, I'm pretty screwed because I search a lot of stuff for.
So the protection of life, liberty, and property is what the Free State Project is all about. But it's an effort to move 20,000 people who understand.
It's about demonstrating to the entire country
that, we can have a free market, a truly free market.
Making it just a freer, great place to live.
It's the world's largest voluntarist libertarian community, and it's only getting bigger.
That's amazing, to be able to move to a place where other people passionately believe in being free and independent.
What the Free State Project is managing to do, though, is to put their money where their mouth is. It's physically getting up across the country and saying, let's go someplace and let's demonstrate the power of these ideas. There's a lot of kind of philosophy that surrounds liberty. There's a lot of thinking about it and talking about it. But here in New Hampshire, people are doing it.
101 Reasons Liberty Lives in New Hampshire, a documentary by Free State Project Early Movers. Watch it free at 101reasonsfilm.com. 101reasonsfilm.com.
Are you making sense to the boomer mindset? I'm Holland Cook from survivalspeech.com. 80 million baby boomers comprise 25% of the population and control most of the USA's wealth. As aging parents pass on, they'll control more. Boomers are 46 to 65 years old and regard themselves as midlife. They identify as neither young nor old. They're post-minivan and pre-retirement, and they don't like being called boomers. They think me. Many of the purchases boomer couples make are individual purposes. They've been experimenters all their lives. If you want their attention, tell stories and keep it simple. If something seems complicated, boomers can dismiss it as, I don't need this. And if you're looking for work, you may be applying to a boomer, so relate accordingly. From survivalspeech.com, I'm Holland Cook.
Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government-controlled 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends or private organizations to show up at any emergency. Cell 411 is a nightmare for the state because it proves their so-called services aren't needed. Cell 411 has had thousands of installs, and of course it's covered by the BIPCOT no government license. Cell 411 because your friends won't shoot you when you're in trouble. Without the government, who would build the emergency services? You and Cell 411. Get it today at getcell411.com.
Did you know we've taken our LRN.FM telephone listen line to a new level with the LRN.FM audio on-demand line? Now you can call 712-770-8447 anytime and listen to LRN.FM's live feed. And you can listen to a bunch of our original shows on demand. Long-distance fees may apply. Just dial 712-770-8447 and choose from the menu. 712-770-8447.
Free Talk Live.
I'm sure I can speak for many of thousands. I don't fear illegals. I don't want them here and their filth that they bring with and the disease that they bring with.
All the people who work in the stores and the markets and the restaurants are overwhelmingly Hispanic, and they seem very clean and be doing a fine job here, and I've never heard anything about problems with disease.
For you to defend the illegal immigrants, and I'm not sure, as I said earlier, which host at what time is very condescending.
Madam, I will defend anybody that is peaceful and looking for a better life for themselves. We already pointed out.
I don't defend them. I wish that people like you.
You say that Mexicans are filthy and you call me condescending, lady? You say they're disease-ridden and filthy and I'm condescending?
And they are. And
You're outrageous. Get out of here. Thank you for the call.
She's had all her rope. She's hung herself.
Free Talk Live, 7 nights a week from 7 to 10 Eastern, live on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM. You can sign up to receive the latest about the Liberty Radio Network via our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. That's updates.lrn.fm.
There are those that just want to be left alone, and those that just won't leave them alone. Which one are you? The Ernest Hancock Show.
Okay, we're back. Now, this is where I wanted to finish off on a lot of this stuff. Okay. We live in a panopticon society, and a lot of times you'll hear like Truth Media Matters or, different guys, they'll keep going on about this, and a lot of people don't know what the hell they're talking about. If you go look, I asked Donna to put it up. She probably has it up by now. I haven't looked, but we'll have graphics and links to Panopticon, and if you look for it, it's Panopticon, Panopticon, so it's optical. It's a all-seeing kind of thing. Panopticon. I got it up here. So I go, because I showed you the reflection, you won't be able to see it. Okay, so a panopticon, imagine a 5-story prison that's in a circle with a single guard tower in the middle that can see into every cell. The idea, the panopticon, is a type of institutional building and system of control designed by the English philosopher and social theorist Jeremy Bentham in the late 18th century. The scheme of the design is to allow all inmates of an institution to be observed opticon by a single watchman without the inmates being able to tell whether or not they are being watched. Although it is physically impossible for the single watchman to observe all the inmates' cells at once, the fact that the inmates cannot know when they are being watched means that they are motivated to act as though they are being watched at all times. Derek and Alexa. Thus, they are effectively compelled to regulate their own behavior. This is the point of Facebook and Alexa and Echo and all this stuff and your phones. You think they don't want you to know that, oh, we could turn it on and listen to you anytime we want. So it changes your behavior. Derek admits it. You know, I'm forced to think about it. It regulates my behavior. Whatever you think it doesn't control you, but it is, whether they are or not.
Yeah, when I'm driving around in my car, I'm thinking about the location data. You know, when I forget my phone at home, I'm like, oh, cool, nobody knows where I am.
Yeah, in your new Jeep. So anyway.
Well, no, yeah. Fortunately, that my current vehicle's old enough that doesn't have any of the OnStar or the Wi-Fi stuff or anything like that. But
Donna got another car. She got a Buick Enclave because my daughter has one. She really liked it. And of course, that one's newer. But Donna got it's a really nice. It was always garaged. It's really nice. Took care of it. You know, it was 106,000 miles when I got it, but it's like brand new. I mean, it's a beautiful car. And it has, you know, the Bluetooth. First time I got a backup camera. Man, that's high tech for me. I'm like, woohoo! I got a backup camera. But it has in there a Bluetooth to your phone. You get in, and it's just automatic. Donna's like all excited about that. Oh, let's connect your phone to the car, and we got and then it has an OnStar emergency push, whatever the hell it does. And I'm going, so what do I think? Well, I'm panopticoned in my own freaking car.
Right. Yeah, these new GMCs, my dad and sister have these new GMCs, and whenever they're here, if they're running it, like they'll remote start their car to warm it up before they leave, and the Wi-Fi signal comes on. You know, it's always connected, and it provides a hotspot in the car. So each one of these new GMC trucks has this.
Yeah, no, my sons, they got the Dodge Ram diesel super duper. It's all that, man. It's so convenient. Yeah. Don't you feel better?
And it's the things that we always wanted. When I was a kid, I wanted the robot that I could talk to, that and all these conveniences. But I, never thought about the security aspects of it in the 80s.
So now
and never envisioned that it would be. I thought it would be something that I owned, not something that I'd be. Somebody else
eventually
would be doing all the processing for me. Yeah, but sooner rather than later. I mean, I don't. There's no reason for it. I think
there's getting to be a reason for it.
Well, no, I mean, there's no reason for me to have to send all the audio up to
right,
to Amazon to find out.
Because they're offering exactly what Facebook offered. They go, yeah, we're going to take away all your security, but we're going to give you a bunch of convenience. You're going to need and want and have, and you can, and then it's done. Because I remember when Facebook was just starting to really get useful, certainly during the Levolution, in the 08 election cycle, 07 to, to 13, to 12 through the two Ron Paul campaigns. A lot of the Liberty community, man, they're Facebook and this and that, and the man saw, holy crap, we got to put the whoa on this. But by that time, what did they do? They mapped out everybody's pirate network. They knew who about what. And I'm going, so now that's when we get into, the Signal and WhatsApp and Telegram. And I need to understand, this is how I understand. Now Derek's going to, help us get to where, it's the truth and not what Ernie thinks. So I go, my impression was this. Whisper technology was the beginning of the base for Signal and WhatsApp. It was very convenient. It was supposed to be secure. It's encrypted, communication with the text, blah, blah, blah. And then WhatsApp, that runs the same backbone software as Signal, got bought up by Facebook. So WhatsApp is now Facebook. I go, oh, well, hell, that's going to be secure. I feel all wonderful about that. And then, and Signal. Well, I remember it was Brian Sovereign. Brian was on the show, and I'm talking about any pirate community. Oh, yeah, you need to get Signal. I loaded it on the phone. I tell this story all the time because I'm like, I want people to know that when you get Signal, the first thing it does is, I totally agree. Do you agree? I totally agree. You totally agree, right? Agree. Click here 3 times. I agree that it's going to go through and map out my entire contact list.
It's going to go, it goes and looks and sees who's in your contact list that has Signal, tells you
based on the phone number.
Signal, and then tells all those people that you're on Signal now.
Right. So then when I did that, all of a sudden it goes, hey, Ernie's on Signal. Before the segment was over, I'm getting all these, hey, Ernie, hey, what's up? I'm going, oh, wow, that was private, okay? So I'm going, no, hell no. Don't ever think I'm serious. Because they go, oh, but it's encrypted what you say, maybe. But I'm going, I think if I can see it on my screen, they can see it. I mean,
right. That's one thing. But the default when you install some of these apps, I'm not sure if this is the case with Signal. I'm not going to say that it is, but often you're using the Google keyboard on these apps for text entry. So you're typing stuff in and it's getting spell checked. So it's sending all the text you're typing up to the Google servers to spell check it and send it back down. I believe.
Really? Okay.
So, and I think that's a feature you can turn off, but most people don't know to turn that off. So they go get Signal. They think it's private, and it's not private.
Okay, turn off what?
The Google spell check.
Oh. So it can see what you're typing as you're typing because it's spell checking.
So I think it sends that up to Google servers to spell check.
Yeah, for
suggestions, and it's suggesting common words that you use. It's not like just spell checking. You start typing in 2 letters and it lists all the words that could be that are relevant to you.
Oh yeah. I see that. I noticed that. Oh, that's very convenient. Thank you. And I put freedoms. It already knows the next word's going to be Phoenix.
Yeah.
He goes, "You got Phoenix, right?" And I'm going, "Yeah, thank you." Yeah. That's mighty nice of you to help me like that. Yeah. So these are security things that people, and what makes them less secure, Ian,
then you think,
is because you think you're secure and you're effed, all right? Because you think you're secure. This is my point. Now, Telegram...
And I think he understands that. He did, but what Ian's point was that you're inviting this microphone into your home. And
and I'm saying that you already have. And that you have all these microphones in your home, and you're going, oh, this one I invited, but this one I didn't invite, so I'm more secure or something. I go, no, you're not. You're less secure because you think you're secure. Now, this is what Boston kind of realized, and I talk on going, man, I go, Boston, because you think you're secure, you're less secure. And when that phone number thing happened, he's like, yep. You're probably right. So he went down, another path. Now, the Telegram, I had a young activist as part of this Project Arizona thing. They have young interns that they around the world, and they come to Phoenix and whatever. And his name's Yuri Tetrikov or some Russian guy. Yuri. He comes in. He used to be an editor of an opposition newspaper in northern Russia. It's northernmost, some ski, whatever the heck town. And it's, it's the largest town in northern Russia there. And for 4 years, he ran an opposition newspaper. You don't like him, some Putin. And after 4 years, they just banned him. They just, shut down the paper. You're not allowed. And he, Telegram. You need Telegram from a Russian dissident that invented Telegram, a Telegram. And I'm going, oh, so you... Mr. I've been banned by Putin, and I'm going, so you think you're secure on Telegram, right? Okay. Well, tell me about Telegram when we come back. Derek's going to tell me all about Telegram. From the 4th letter of Captain Mark. Landlubbers are conditioned to believe that the originators of an idea deserve exclusive rights to it, but these innovators are nothing but privateers, granted a monopoly by the Crown. Potential inventors are restricted from using their own property and forced to navigate a wilderness of prohibited ideas. These pattern monopolies are intellectual colonization. This alliance of means between the Crown and the privateers is not an alignment of ends. Both collude to establish a permission culture, in which everyone second-guesses their own thoughts, never sure which ideas are permissible to develop. But their objectives are different. The Crown aims to cripple dissenting opinion, while privateers will only be satiated when all new ideas already fall under their monopoly. This scheme does not protect our information, but seizes it and denies us access. The future belongs to individuals who think, speak, and act freely to create and share without reservation. Join the conversation at pirateswithoutborders.com.
Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm.
When you hear the word lobbyist, you probably think about greedy corporations, but not all lobbyists are the same. Some are fighting for the freedoms you hold dear. Liberty Lobby LLC is doing just that in New Hampshire, working hard to represent you, not some special interest group. You can help by going to libertylobby.info, where your contribution will give us the tools we need to ensure that your voice is heard. Visit libertylobby.info today to find out more.
Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get 1 free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
Hi, I'm Derek J. I don't want a politician to represent me. To me, government is the idea that one group of people can coerce everyone to comply with an edict or face increasing punishments up to and including death. Despite perhaps the most noble of intentions, the best government services are a far cry from what could be provided for by voluntary interactions. Besides, the people who call themselves the government wage wars and put peaceful people in jail for crimes involving no victims. If Starbucks used some of its money to drop bombs, I wouldn't shop there. So why would I support the American empire? The empire does not require my consent.
Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree. Watch it for free and order the Director's Cut DVD at victimlesscrimespree.com. That's victimlesscrimespree.com.
What's up next? Visit the Liberty Radio Network program guide to find out at shows.lrn.fm. That's shows.lrn.fm.
And now, live from the studios of Freedom's Phoenix, Ernest Hancock.
Okay, this is the next level of what we're talking about and what I want to get into is Telegram is espoused as being more private. We got the Russian dissidents. It was a Russian dissident created, and the Russians are doing. We're going to be all private. And he was making a big deal. Putin can't stop Telegram as if he wanted to. I mean, God knows. And so Telegram is not whisper tech, is it? Or it is?
No, Telegram's not. Yeah, I think it's I don't know who made it, but it's been related to me as some Russian anarchist,
right?
Dissident,
right? And then, so I need to know what it uses, how it works. Does it use phone numbers?
Well, it does use phone. Yeah, it's just like Signal in that respect. Yeah,
it maps out your pirate network.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Yuri was going on about this, and I go, "Does it use phone numbers?" He goes, "Yeah." I go, "Well, then they know. They know all the people that are on your thing. It has to know because that's how it works."
Right. It's secured via mobile phones. You have to install it on your mobile phone, and there's a QR code that you use to tie it to a desktop app. And the desktop apps for Telegram and Signal are very convenient because I don't like typing on a phone, so I use the desktop version most of the time. But I see the message on my phone, then I can shoot it from my PC and
see, that's another thing. I got my Samsung Galaxy 5 that I'm eventually going to have to get a Galaxy $1,200 something, whatever the hell eventually goes to. Hi, Donna. She brought us some coffee. Thank you. So I'm going, all right, we have Telegram that's all perfectly private and secret.
No, nobody said it's perfectly private. It was, I don't want to say roll your own encryption for Telegram, but there was some non-standard encryption stuff in Telegram, and that's why Snowden didn't recommend Telegram. Snowden recommended Signal, and that's why everybody got all excited about Signal. I don't know exactly what he said. I don't think he said use Signal because nobody will ever be able to know what you're saying. He probably just said that the 5-year-old, stuff that he was doing at the NSA before he was gone and doesn't know anything that they've been doing since.
Yeah.
Or maybe he does. But was difficult for them to read. But I don't think he ever said it was impossible for them to read.
I had other guys on the show about Signal, and they were telling me that just from who it is and other things they know about you, and it's kind of like, you know, the auto fill in Google thing, that from the bytes, you know, how many bytes and which order and all that, it's kind of like how they decrypt things because E is the most common letter, and then from that they can, you know, they got algorithms and, you know, an AI to sit there and look, and they go, we pretty much know what you're saying on Signal too, and the encryption.
And like you've said, if you know me and Ernie are talking, you know what we're talking about.
Right. And you see, my point was, I'm going, wait. So it's like they map out your pirate network, and they go, this freedom anarchist guy is talking to this freedom anarchist guy probably about freedom anarchist stuff, you know? And I'm going,
that's all they need to know.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, you know, they don't really know what you're saying. Who gives a crap? They know who I'm saying it to.
Right.
The word picture that I give is that you bring your pirate ship into the, you know, the harbor of wherever. And you got the ISR lighthouse sitting over there watching all the ships, and they can see their little flashy light thing between each other and so on. And then this ship takes a flashy light thing and sends the same flashy light thing over to this other ship, and this, you know, boom, they mapped out your pirate network. And they go, yeah, but they don't know what you said. Who gives a crap? That is not the freaking point.
All of a sudden there's a bunch of chatter, it gives them, you know, it might be response to an event or something that's about to happen, or, you know
how
right
that brings
the
up
pirates come in to raid, you know, to come in, they're going to start talking to each other.
Right. You know, here they come.
They're going to do something.
This is one thing, the Turing test, okay? You know, whether you're talking to a computer or a person or whatever. And the guy that invented they broke the Enigma code. There's you know, Donna's favorite, you know, actor, Cumberbatch here. You know, he was in that. You've seen that show, I'm sure, because he's in it. So what happened was how they broke the code, because it was they could not get this. But at the end of every message, they put 2 words at the end that helped them break it.
Hail Hitler.
Hail Hitler. Blah, 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 Hail Hitler.
Yep.
You know, and they go, oh, we know what that is. Boom. And that's how they broke it.
Yeah.
So if they know, you know, that, you know, some way you do, and that just helped them.
And they know what words you use because they're using your Google spell checker thing to see what words are relevant to you. Yeah, they'll find Freedom and Phoenix all over the place. Just go to Freedom's Phoenix. Go to Freedom's Phoenix and look this up right now. Have you seen the video on Pirates Without Borders?
Right. I mean, so you're done. This is kind of my point. But you think you're secure, you're so freaking not. So the Telegram thing, how much deeper do I need to go other than they use your phone number? Okay.
Right.
Next.
Right. It is a problem. So it all goes back to the mobile phone. That's like the primary spy device, and everything else builds off of that.
You know. So then we have what just came out in the last couple of weeks. Nest, which is a doorbell thing. It's a surveillance camera of Google or whatever.
What you can do is, if you want to secure your house, you know, like to know if anybody else is in your house, and you can get these Nest cameras. So you get the Nest camera, it takes the video of what you're doing inside your house, and it sends it up to Nest servers, so that you can look at it.
Thank you. And the
so
thing,
you can look at it from your house.
They're doing the hut thing into my. You know, I saw somebody, who is it? Eric Peters, that does the car that he writes on Lou Rockwell a lot and everything. He goes, yeah, the hutting. He puts in there, they hutted me, and they and I'm going, I know exactly what he's talking about. They get the SWAT teams, you know, they come in there, hut, you know, they go in and they lay waste. And I remember it was in the 70s, I think. I was a kid, maybe 80s. I think it was the 70s. You used to have Emergency 5-1, and it was like paramedics. They had a show about. They always got hospital shows, or you know, legal shows, or you know, what's the forensic shows that they do?
No idea. What are the forensic shows that they do, Donna? I don't watch any of this stuff.
Yeah, CSI kind of crap. Okay, oh, that's all cool and everything. Then there's a series that I really liked called Almost Human, about 2048. I'm recommending to Derek and Donna. In 2048, they had a cop, and it's Cobain, the guy that plays in the new Star Trek's Bones, you know, that actor, and Chris Pine and Bones, that actor that plays the Doctor, was the head detective, and he had an android partner. And the tech is, I thought this was a great show because it showed off all this stuff that they're actually doing. And this is in 13, they use Bitcoin. And I'm going, and they're done. So after the first episode, and you're canceled. Not because it wasn't popular, not because it wasn't a good show. It's the same kind of Firefly thing. It's all about the alliance, and you're done. Okay? So they definitely controlling the mindset of people. Gets me all, to think or not, you are so deluding yourself. So then the Nest thing, what do we find out? It has a microphone.
You could have cut out the microphone in the Nest, and then they wouldn't have been listening to you anymore, right? Like maybe you just wanted the video, like on your outside door, but you didn't want it to hear stuff that was inside. So you might open it up and take the microphone out, right? And then you think you're safe.
But they didn't even tell you that a lot of these things are in, you know, that it had a microphone.
It had another microphone.
What?
It was a second. It wasn't. We knew that it had a primary microphone, but it had another microphone on another board that they didn't tell anybody about. It had a whole other board they didn't tell anybody about. Wow. So they're selling these Nests. So you make a product, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you say, well, my cost for producing this product is XXX, and it's based on all the hardware in it, right? So then you sell it to somebody, and you tell them what you're selling them, because that's what they're paying for, right? They don't know that they're paying for this extra board with this extra microphone for future features.
Future features.
Future features.
For you, because we love you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can turn it. Yeah, no, we never were. No, we were going to turn that, let you know about it when we had these other feet, kind of, you know, pinky swear. Yeah. And then, so now I'm sitting here looking at my computer laptop that I have I would go on for years. I'm going, and you guys hear me talk about this a lot too. I'm going, all these geek guys like Derek and everything, they're doing all their Linux stuff. And you're not so much a Linux guy, but, you know, a lot of the guys are. And they're just Linux. Well, these same guys are crypto. And I always heard this is where the grandma just button comes from. They go, well, you just this and you just that, and show me this just thing you keep talking about. And I go, can't you just have a ready-made built Linux computer? Can't I just buy a laptop that's made for Linux?
Think Penguin.
Think Penguin. I'm looking at the Think Penguin, but what did they do? They went and got a motherboard that didn't have all these trusted program module, secret microphone bullshit in it and everything. Now they're having trouble, and not impossible. You can't get a motherboard that doesn't have all that crap in it.
They made a law that said everything's got to have a TPM on it or whatever it is.
This is, and for me, is that a great new Google feature for me?
It's not for you. You're just paying for it.
Right. Well, you're paying for it by they're selling your data is what they're doing. It's like all this stuff they get to you cheap. You're going to get a free phone from Jeff Bezos. The next half of the planet that gets online, you're going to get a free phone, and you are the product. So I'm going, this is, you know, BS. To think you are secure, you are not. That is the biggest problem, is when you think you're secure and you're not.
On Free Talk Live, we're bringing people to the ideas of liberty every day. In on the radio.
I was kind of stuck in the left-right paradigm. I heard your show by chance on a Saturday night. From there, I went on, joined the Free State Project, and become an amplifier. So, I mean, that's really the reason why I amp, is because I know that if it wasn't for you guys being on as many stations as you are, I never would have found the ideas of liberty.
Your amp will directly change more lives by getting Free Talk Live in front of people looking for talk radio online and on the air. When you amp Free Talk Live, you get perks like access to the AMP-only Facebook group and AMP podcast. Visit amp.freetalklive.com.
Did you know you can listen to LRN.FM via our free-to-air satellite channels? We have channels over nearly all of North America and much of Africa. All you need is an affordable receiver and a dish as small as 30 inches. There are no monthly fees. Learn more at sat.lrn.fm. Plus, if you are a broadcaster or want to be one, this is a good delivery method for our content. See our coverage maps and get details at sat.lrn.fm. That's sat.lrn.fm. sat.lrn.fm.
Are you a cryptocurrency advocate? The Crypto Tip is the ideal outreach tool to help new people discover cryptocurrency. It's a printable business card-sized tip that you can give to service providers, preferably in addition to a good cash tip. When the server scans the QR code, it'll bring up an explanation of cryptocurrency, how to install a wallet, and allow them to claim the tip. If they don't claim the crypto, you get your tip refunded to you after a time period you specify. Plus, if they do claim the tip, you get an email alert. Create as many tips as you want at cryptotip.org. That's cryptotip.org.
Declare your independence with Ernest Hancock continues after the news, live on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for Liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. Online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow with the Liberty Beat for Tuesday, March 12th, 2019. Gold opened the day at $1,297. Silver opened at $15.39. And Bitcoin is trading around $3,852.65. Today's prices are brought to you by InnoScale. Take off with Managed Cloud. Looking for a safe, secure way to store your important files online? Let InnoScale handle it for you. Their high-availability cloud servers are the perfect solution for clients needing one or more secure, scalable servers with built-in hardware failover protection. For details, see them online at innoscale.net. In the news, a new WikiLeaks document has raised suspicion over the appointment of Saudi Arabia, one of the world's worst human rights offenders, to oversee the UN Human Rights Council. The Anti-Media reports the international nonprofit organization that publishes secret information, news leaks, and classified media has uncovered secret documents showing that the UK had a major role in the controversial decision. According to documents released last month by WikiLeaks under the headline, "What has WikiLeaks revealed about David Cameron and the Conservatives?" the UK engaged in secret vote trading with Riyadh to ensure both states were elected to the UN body. It also suspects that payments may have been made to get the Saudis appointed to the coveted position. One of the cables shows that Saudi Arabia transferred $100,000 for expenditures resulting from the campaign to nominate the kingdom for membership of the Human Rights Council for the period 2014 to 2016. It's unclear where or how the money was spent. The Liberty Beat is sponsored in part by Bray Botanicals. High-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Bray Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven, fighting for your right to consume plant-based medicine and natural remedies. Find out more at mybraybotanicals.com. And right now, Liberty Beat listeners can save 10% by using promo code SNLS at checkout. This is the Liberty Beat for Tuesday, March 12th, 2019. Find us online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. Your news now continues. A recent European Union announcement about national IDs will destroy millions of people's privacy and create a near-global biometric database. Activist Post reports that an article in Statewatch News revealed that the EU has agreed to create a mandatory national biometric ID card. Earlier this week, the Nepal government announced their plans to roll out a national biometric ID card that will affect 30 million people. All the EU needs is for 28 ambassadors to say yes. And just like that, 512.6 million citizens will be forced to give up their privacy if they want to travel. The Brussels Times claims that the member countries would have 8 years to comply when the law takes effect. Concerns regarding the Trump administration's increasingly hostile policy in Venezuela grew Tuesday after Secretary of State Mike Pompeo announced the United States was withdrawing all diplomatic personnel from the country. The Anti-Media reports that Pompeo cited the deteriorating situation in Venezuela that escalated in January after the U.S. recognized opposition leader Juan Guaido as interim president, rebuking President Nicolas Maduro and coordinating efforts to overthrow the elected government. Guaido told Fox News Monday he plans to invoke Venezuela's constitutional Article 187, which he claimed allows for an outside country to cooperate or to assist Venezuela in this sense. Both Guaido's escalated rhetoric and Pompeo's move came days before a planned rally outside the White House, where thousands of Americans are expected to protest a potential military invasion and regime change in Venezuela. Most recently, a power outage that has gone on for 5 days has led the U.S. to accuse Maduro of failing to run his country effectively. Even amid reports in the New York Times that the sanctions the U.S. has imposed in recent weeks are to blame for the blackouts. Support for the Liberty Beat comes from the Conscious Resistance Network, featuring videos, news reports, and articles from a spiritual anarchist perspective. Experience the Conscious Resistance at theconsciousresistance.com. How would you like to have your business featured on the Liberty Beat? You can. Just send an email to libertybeat@snls.news for details. This is the Liberty Beat, produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. The Liberty Beat is online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow reporting for the Liberty Beat for Tuesday, March 12th, 2019. Reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
For the past several years now, area woman Caitlin Mooney has been convinced that each and every one of her friends should be a professional comedian. Our reporters spoke to Caitlin this morning about her, quote, hilarious group of friends.
Karen is so funny. Like, I can't even explain it. She's always just saying whatever on her mind. She has this totally sassy attitude. You just can't help but laugh. My roommate Rashmi, she always has these hilarious stories that, they're just too much. I'm always telling her that she should just go up on stage and talk. Everyone would love it.
Mooney went on to say that her good friend Lauren is so funny she could, quote, definitely be on Saturday Night Live or The Office, a sentiment she echoed about a number of her other acquaintances, including her childhood friend Marcia, her college roommate Angela, her coworker Julie, and even her sister Jennifer.
This is the Onion News Network.
3 days in the hospital.
And now, live from the studios of Freedom's Phoenix, Ernest Hancock.
Believe me when I say we have a difficult time ahead of us. But if we are to be prepared for it, we must first shed our fear of it. I stand here without fear because I remember that I am here not because of the path that lies before me, but because of the path that lies behind me. I remember that for 100 years we have fought these machines. And after a century of war, I remember that which matters most. We are still here! Today, let us make them remember. We are not afraid!
Unafeared, but relatively concerned here on Declare Your Independence of me, Ernest Hancock, here in Bangor, Maine. Freedom's Phoenix, I gotta do it. On Freedom's Phoenix, ooh, nice echo in here, that's good. All right, so Nest, we're talking about, they already have, extra board. Now, this is one thing that it really came home and I'm thinking, I'm just going to build my own computers, which a lot of times I do. I get a nice tower with easy access of putting in. I like these both sides of the computer tower. You can take off both sides and you can access. It's easier to plug in the hard drives and you can move hard drives and you got slots for like 8, the hard drive slots and you can do all kinds of crap and you get a nice board for or whatever. And they go, yeah, you get a new motherboard and they're $150 to $200. Usually you get a nice one that does whiz bang and then you got to buy the chip and what kind of Uber chip you got. Comes with all kinds of garbage in that. That's a whole nother thing. And then you got this freaking fan, the size of your, the exhaust fan in your bathroom for your processor. Yes. But when I did that and I put in that motherboard, it was Motorola. Motorola was bought by Google. Okay, do you remember that?
Oh, no, I didn't even know that.
Oh, yeah. This is what I remember. I'm going to look this up. Google buys Motorola. Okay, I put that in and see what comes up. Facts about Google's acquisition of Motorola. Okay, so there it is. Benefits of the deal: Google and Motorola mobility together will accelerate innovation and choice and yada yada yada. So Motorola and Google, they're the same thing as far as they're in, right? So then I get this Motorola board. I put it in when we did the video computer because we upgrade. When something goes out, I'll get whiz-bang. I don't have to deal with it for another 5, 6 months, year, whatever. So I get it in, and the first thing, you put in the Motorola board, you want to, start building it, you turn it on, the BIOS loads up, and before you can do anything, there's a totally agree button. You totally agree.
Yeah, that's something new, yeah.
It wasn't that new. That was a couple of years ago.
Yeah, new to me.
Motorola, Google. You buy a Motorola, and you don't even think about it.
The licensing agreement for the
licensing
hardware.
Agreement for the very base, fundamental Motorola board. You are totally agreeing that Google has got your secret turned on micro, whatever the hell.
So Ben Schrader was telling me the other day. I think it was Ben. I'm pretty sure it was Ben. And somehow this got by me too, but they discovered recently that Intel has had an entire Linux machine running inside the CPU itself since the 90s.
What?
So they got a little operating system running in there for diagnostic purposes or whatever. Yeah, and I think he's going to be on maybe tomorrow or Friday.
Yeah, we can talk about that. Okay, check this out.
More about that.
The second story comes up on DuckDuckGo. It says, why did Google buy Motorola for $12.5 billion and sell it off, blah, blah, blah? After purchasing Motorola for $12.5 billion, it obtained the Motorola Home and Motorola Mobility divisions. Google immediately sold the Motorola Home division to Aris Group, Inc. for about $2.5 billion. Google sold the Motorola Mobility division to Lenovo for $3 billion. Motorola had $3 billion in cash at the time. Blah 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 blah. They got Motorola boards. Okay, that's what happened. So I'm going, all right. I put it in. The first question: to use this brand new super whippy dippy board that you just got, that was probably $20 cheaper, but with more features than this other one you could have got at Fry's Electronics. You gotta totally agree, okay? And I never forget. I will not forget this, you sons of bitches, okay? Yes, I totally agree for Google to, be able to, whatever the crap I'm doing with this, which is a bunch of Ernie videos. That's all I do on that video computer is just a video streaming the video of the videos. And I'm going, yep. They got to change their surveillance guys every couple of weeks because they get converted. This is what I'm talking about. So so to think that you're secure is the problem. Now, they'll talk about all the securities and how great and wonderful, and you add this app and blah, 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 but you totally agreed from the BIOS step. Yep. So don't even tell me that you think you're, no, that ain't happening. So I'm going, all right. So we understand from the beginning that we're jacked up. And if you think it because you got Telegram and it was some Russian dissident, which is another psyop in the whole thing right there, is that I'm going, yeah, does it use your phone number? All right, well, then you're done. I don't even need because if I'm typing on my Samsung phone on Android, which is a Google, operating system thing anyway, and then the geeks out there will go, oh, well, you download the super secret Android special blah, blah, blah. Like, how the hell would I know? I'm going to go in and look at, like you're saying, Ben's saying. He's going, look, man, you start looking at the architecture of the hardware. They got a whole thing running through whatever the hell they want.
It was Minix, I think. And what he told me was, I think it's Minix. Anyway, it's a very small Unix distribution. And the Minix guy found out about this. And he said, geez, I wish I would have known that I had the most widely deployed I'd written the most widely deployed operating system in the world because it was freeware. So nobody told him. But he wrote this operating system, gave it away for free. Intel took it, put it in the CPU of the computer. It was a whole Linux operating system running in the CPU, just that single chip of the computer. And the guy that developed it didn't even know that his operating system was running in every Intel chip in the world for decades.
Wow. That's one thing. It was Chris Wade. Yeah, Chris, W-A-I-D, I think.
Yeah,
that does Think Penguin. And what I was screaming about, I'm going, look, man, you guys got to come up with a Linux computer that has Linux on it. I take it out of the box, I open it up, and it just turns on, it works, it boots fast. I go, who the hell is going to do that? We're at PorkFest, and he had a table. This was, 3-4 years ago. He had a table like this, just a fold-out table with a plexiglass thing on top and the stuff underneath so people aren't, playing with it or stealing it or whatever. And he goes, yeah, I got this little box here. You plug in the monitor, you plug in a keyboard and mouse, and boom, it's like a Raspberry Pi thing.
There's a laptop, kind of a modular laptop where you just plug in different.
Well, he also had, you could buy like a desktop that was just this little box, and then a laptop. And I go, you got a laptop? You know, you got it here. Well, no, we're developing, doing kind of go, man, I'm first in line. Give me, and then we put the ads up on Freedom's Phoenix. You'll see Think Penguin there. So I'm just going, you do this, give me a deal. And it wasn't free. He didn't give it to me, but he gave me some options and other stuff. So we were pimping it. And I got this laptop. Love this laptop.
This is the laptop you're using now.
This is it.
If you watch the video, you see the Yes, I'm That Libertarian sticker on the back. That's the Think Penguin laptop.
That's the Think Penguin. Yeah, when you're watching the video and you see that, So I'm going, okay. The second...
It's got a little penguin on the Windows key of the keyboard.
Right. Yeah, okay, now this is what happened. I get it, and I'm ready to pimp. I'm that man. This is the great, because he sent me. I also got this, and I got a Libre, whatever the hell they called it, router.
Yep.
Now the things about routers, a lot of the geek guys going to Goodwill and buying these old 811 routers of whatever the hell they are, because they were pre-hacked. You know,
or hackable. You could put
you could change
change the whole operating
system, firmware in it or something. Yeah. And now they made FCC's like, no, you can't do that anymore.
Right, that's the TPM thing for routers.
So then you go, we need this old one where we can hack it. We could have more control over it.
So don't throw out your old routers. They still work.
Right. No. So he's like, no, so as soon as I put up the banners for Think Penguin, just when I got the computer, I'm like, Think Penguin would be more secure, go over there. Well, then you go to his site and had a line through where it says it was secure routing and everything. Put a line through it. They're not secret anymore. And I'm like, what the hell did you do that for? And they go, you can't buy those anymore. I can't get them. I can't supply them. They have changed the law to where you can't do what we did on your. I go, well, I'm keeping that one. This may be why you can't get into my router stuff. We're having problems with you.
Oh, yeah, maybe so.
From the 6th letter of Captain Mark. A pirate's life is characterized by voluntary interactions. Unfortunately, the Crown presses everyone into involuntary servitude. Landlubbers believe slavery was abolished years ago, but the Crown still claims to own us when it crimps us into service against our will. Given sufficient ambition, it would gladly draft thousands of hapless victims to kill or be killed. It's simply slavery by another name. Landlubbers are routinely commanded to serve the so-called justice system in jury duty. But before you swell with civic pride, consider that how you feel is irrelevant to the Crown. You will appear as ordered or face punitive measures. The Crown insists that you participate in your own oppression. A jury summons provides pirates with a unique opportunity to obstruct injustices. A juror can vote not guilty, even if it's proven the law was violated. A juror can acquit for any reason at all, and not even a judge can reverse that verdict. Receiving a jury summons is basically winning the sedition lottery. But if you reveal that you know this during jury selection, you'll probably be dismissed. If the Crown foolishly crimps a pirate into jury duty, it behooves the pirate to conceal their intention to nullify unjust laws. If a master takes 100% of your labor, it's called slavery. But if they only take 50%, they call it taxation, a difference of degree, not of kind. Whether the Crown claims a fortune or a cent is irrelevant. Most of all, a slave owner desires contented slaves, meaning thoughtless ones that accept their bondage. These house slaves see no contradiction in being drafted in a war to end slavery or summoned to a jury to prosecute tax evasion. An ideal slave knows no higher call than the master's will. The Crown's highest ambition is that its slaves revere the authority that subjugates them. But the Crown does not own me. I will not surrender my time and treasure to the Crown's ambitions. Join the conversation at pirateswithoutborders.com.
My name is Jacob Hornberger. I'm president of the Future of Freedom Foundation, which Congressman Ron Paul awarded for having an outstanding freedom website. Write us at fff@fff.org, and we'll send you a free 3-month subscription to our monthly journal of libertarian essays and our booklet, Economic Liberty in the Constitution, which George Mason University economics professor Walter Williams praised in a recent column. That's fff@fff.org.
Now that you've found the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM, you may want to help expose others to our great programs. To assist you in doing so, you'll find resources at promote.lrn.fm, including details on how to get a free bumper sticker, quarter-page flyers you can print out and distribute, banners for your website, as well as files that will allow you to make your own custom banners and graphics. Visit promote.lrn.fm and help bring new listeners to the Liberty Radio Network. That's promote.lrn.fm.
The Free State Project has reached its goal of 20,000 liberty lovers who've pledged to move to New Hampshire and get active to achieve liberty in our lifetime. Perhaps you're trying to figure out what part of New Hampshire should be your destination. If so, consider Keene. You'll find more than 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com. Keene is famous for its historic, publicity-generating activism, as well as being the liberty media capital of the world. It's home to freekeene.com, New Hampshire's destination for liberty activism, news, and opinion. For years, we've been compiling over 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com, where you'll learn about some of what's happening here and what makes Keene a great place to live. If you love liberty, you'll probably enjoy anywhere you end up in the Shire. But do your due diligence first. Please visit move.freekeene.com for the full list of over 150 reasons to move to Keene. That's move.freekeene.com.
Join the LRN.FM Discord for live chat 24/7 at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
To be a part of the show, call 602-264-2800. 602-264-2800. And now, Ernest Hancock.
And we're back here in Bangor, Maine, where we're getting stuff. I got here Saturday morning, and we just hit the ground running, man. We've been doing a lot of stuff, freeing up Derek's time to work on this stuff. And we're doing all this so you understand why we're focusing on, everybody get their shot ready. You know, take a shot of your scotch, your whiskey. Here we go. IPFS, interplanetary file sharing. You're going to hear me talking a lot about that. Is he coming by?
Yep.
Cool. So we got some more workers doing stuff. All right. Now, this is what the deal is. Even if you have all this done, I remember in 1989, something like that, Evan Meacham was governor of Arizona, very controversial, kind of, Trump. He was a Trump guy. They exactly say conservative, Mormon, kind of, and they go, there was a lot of surveillance being done on him. The federal government didn't like what he was doing. I mean, they finally got him impeached, and it was just a big thing. Then, of course, later you find out it was all BS. But he was going, they're listening to us. And they're going, oh, you conspiracy crazy guy. He goes, no, they're taking lasers. They're putting them on the window in my governor office, and they're listening to what we're doing. Oh, you conspiracy nut. Of course they were. Later you find out that's exactly what they were doing. And what they do, they have the technology now. There's a couple of things. One, if you go look it up, you can see they have what do they call it? Tera blah blah frame. So many tera frames per second. High-speed video cameras that can watch slow motion moving of a pulse of laser light. That's how fast these cameras are. Yeah. So you think I'm kidding? This is years ago that you can sit there and watch a pulse of laser going through a Coke bottle. And you sit there and watch it happen.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I'm going, holy crap, what the heck would they do with that? Then they can measure vibrations of anything. As he and I are sitting here talking, if they can go through a window, a laser, that can measure the vibrations of a bag of potato chips or a leaf on a potted plant.
Or the glass itself, I think.
Yeah, the glass is easy. That's a whole other thing. But the point that they were making is that anything around you, even if there wasn't glass there, the vibrations on a leaf, if you're sitting out, we go meet in a park bench out in the whatever the hell. Yeah, man, they're just doing the vibration off of your eyeglasses as you're talking to the other guys talking to you, and they can make out your speech. Yeah. This has been years that they can do this.
And this is what they were doing. I don't think they need to send guys out in the field anymore. Right? They've got the devices. We carry the devices around with us. So that's another point about the phones and the Tucker microphone and all that, and the McAfee phone where he turns off the microphone. They can take audio off of the accelerometers.
What?
When you're talking, the phone's setting on the table.
Because the accelerometer vibrates.
The accelerometer's vibrating. They could potentially take audio off the accelerometers. I think there's a proof of concept for this. I'm not sure.
They can. Then they are.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
So to think you're private, this is the one thing I'm going, God. So this is what and then you talk about Tor and how it works, and BitTorrents and all this other stuff. And I'm going, and then I find out later that Tor was a Navy intelligence project. It was so that, Secret Agent 0015 or whatever, can be out there and communicate with and kind of, and you think the Russian hackers didn't have an incentive to, deal with that too. So then the ability was, can they, and then they want to fudge you. They want to fear, uncertainty, and doubt you that you think you're being secret when you really are. They don't want you to think you are. And then when you really aren't, they don't want you to know you aren't. And, it's just a game that they play. Well, Tor, they can start following the routers. And I remember we had a guy a couple of years ago on the show that I think it was called Dark Data Services. Let me pull that up. Now, Dark Data Services was a guy, he was a Liberty guy, that wanted to make sure that the Liberty community knew and understood that he could track all your Bitcoin transactions. He's going, look, man, I do this for law enforcement all the time. And that's what I'm putting in here. Dark Data Services. Dark Data Services. I think that's what it was. Let's see if it comes up. Blah, blah, blah. Dark Siri, Dark Web, Blink, Dark, yeah, whatever. You look it up on Ad Freedom's Phoenix and it'll come up on the show. And he was saying that, look, I just want everybody to know. I mean, don't be a hater. I'm doing my absolution. I'm making some money at this. I feel a little guilty. I need some absolution. I just want you guys to know.
Don't tell me my Tor isn't secure. It doesn't make me feel comfortable.
Yeah. He's going. I'm tracking Bitcoin transactions back to the device. FYI.
Oh yeah.
Just want you all to know. I'm going. Hey, thanks for doing us a solid. Yep. So I'm going. All right.
So you put enough Bitcoin. You put enough Bitcoin nodes out there, you'll see the origin of you can get a pretty good idea of what the origin of the transaction was, which IP address broadcast this original transaction.
Down
if there's
to the
so
device.
many, and that's how Tor has been compromised too. The compromisers just put up a bunch of Tor nodes, and they can see a bulk of the traffic. And they can see, whoa, something happened over here, and then something happened over here, and they can tie that input, that going into the Tor network and then going out of the Tor network together.
So now it's got to where it's the panopticon. This idea that, if they finally, when all else fails, they just want you to believe that everybody's being surveilled all the time to get your behavior to be appropriate with demands of, China, you don't get to fly anymore. I mean, this is what happens. So what is our real society? What was our development? What's our diversity? It has been eliminated. Of course, people are going to do bad stuff and bad things and the bad whatever, but this vibrant kind of, that's why you have to have a base fundamental principle of something like the non-aggression principle. As long as you're not aggressing against individuals, they can be as stupid as they want to go be stupid. But to give sociopaths a shiny badge and authority is the most dangerous thing you can do. So whatever you talk of, can't we all agree, like Mark Victor and I get into it, well, can't we all agree that we all need, police, or we need this, or we need that? I go,
all of us?
I go, yeah, you're not going to convince me of this.
When everybody says all or never or always.
Which was his point. He was like, when everybody says all cops are bad, that's how I go, but we all need cops. I mean, I'm going, oh, you're killing me, man. So this is where we're going with this. So privacy, there's two things. When I was at Norcapoca, that was the point that I was making. I get a chance to talk, and I'm going, all right, the man, they, them, those, whatever, won't leave us alone. They want to make where privacy is non-existent. And you know it. You don't have privacy. No. And gosh darn it, this is what we want you to be like and your behavior to be. You have no privacy.
I remember Outer Limits way back in the early 80s. It was probably the reboot of Outer Limits. And they had this guy was walking down the street, and there's all these little globes following them around, seeing what they're doing.
Right.
Remember that episode?
They live.
I was like, oh, my God, that sounds so horrible. Yeah.
Well, they don't even have to fly. You're carrying it around with you.
All of these
Take the propellers off, put a screen on it, put it in your pocket. So, so this, and then they go, that next thing is immutability. They want to be able to determine what can and cannot be accessible to everybody or anybody. Privacy, they don't want you to be secret, and it's there forever. They want to control what's there forever. And that's deleted, and that's gone, and that's been taken off, and that's got a copyright, flag of you're not allowed, and Facebook and taken down Zero Hedge. I'm just going, wow, we'll talk about that.
There are basically two types of advertising, direct response and branding. Radio's great for direct response with its low cost to listener ratio, but audio can't be beat for branding, which is a longer-term endeavor. You want to be the first thing that someone thinks of when they think about your product or service. If you have a local business that you want kept top of mind in your community, call the station. If you need national reach, Free Talk Live's got around 200 radio stations, millions of monthly listening sessions, can suit all budgets, and if we don't think we're right for you, we'll tell you. Email me, mark@freetalklive.com.
LRN.FM is proud to announce our official listening apps for Android and iOS devices. Now you can easily tune into our streams anywhere, anytime on your smartphone or tablet. Just visit apps.lrn.fm or search for LRN.FM in the Android or Apple app stores. Please download, rate us 5 stars, then share the link on your social media, and let your friends and family know how you're listening to LRN.FM. Download it now, free at apps.lrn.fm.
This is Michael Dean from the Freedom Fiends. I've run websites since 1996 and have used over a dozen web hosts in that time. AgristHosting.com is the only one that hasn't broken my heart. Agrist Hosting's uptime and service is stellar, and their DDoS mitigation is the best I've seen. That's important because if you tell the truth in this world, you'll ruffle feathers. And some people will try dirty tricks to silence your voice. No matter what the haters hit us with, Agrist Hosting keeps our websites online. If you have a mission-critical commercial presence or a world-changing activism site, you cannot tolerate any skullduggery. So go with AgristHosting.com. Have a WordPress or blog site, but you're not satisfied with performance or uptime? Or just want raw hosting? Want to pay with Bitcoin? Agrist Hosting specializes in high-performance hosting with personalized service. Go to AgristHosting.com and click on the button that says Get Hosted. That's AgristHosting.com.
This Your Family Today tip is brought to you by Nestle Pure Life Water, helping you drink better and live better by providing a zero-calorie alternative to sugary drinks. Visit us at nestle-purelife.us. When kids are playing, they often don't want to stop to keep hydrated, so send them out with a bottle of water and encourage them to take frequent drink breaks, or call them inside for a quick sip. For more tips like these, visit us at parenthood.com/yourfamilytoday.
There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and one with just the Edgington Post. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
We have some good news. The indictments against Ross Ulbricht in the District of Maryland were dismissed with prejudice, meaning they can never be refiled. This is especially good because those indictments contain the only charge ever made that Ross engaged in murder for hire. This was a serious allegation that Ross Ulbricht denies. It was never prosecuted or ruled on by a jury, but was trumpeted by the federal government and the media as if it were proven fact. The Maryland court held these indictments for almost 5 years, poisoning Ross's case and leaving him under a cloud of unproven allegations. As explained in Ross's appeal to the Supreme Court, the fact that the judge used these allegations to give Ross a draconian sentence of double life without parole violated his Sixth Amendment right to a jury trial. Judges are required to issue sentences based on convictions decided by a jury, not unproven allegations never even charged at trial. Although this is a positive development, the dropped indictment will not set Ross free. Now, a presidential pardon is Ross's only hope of freedom. Sign the petition at freeross.org. freeross.org.
You're listening to the best liberty-oriented audio streamed around the clock, on the air and online. This is the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
Roads? It's the Ernest Hancock Show. Where we're going, there aren't any roads.
No, they're going to make roads 3D, and the whole world's a road, space is a road. The Alliance is going to come help protect my, property rights on my asteroid that I blah, 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 blah.
Forget roads. They're going to give you tunnels.
Right. Yeah, we just saw that the Boring Company, Elon Musk tunnel thing, he got a deal to do it in Las Vegas, which is perfect for this. You get off the plane, you go to the casinos, you go casino, little subway. That'd be perfect. I don't know.
The reason I like having a Jeep or any type of SUV is so that I'm on the highway, something happens in front of me, I can go right across the median and start going the other way. I can go across the sidewalk.
That's the sound of the police.
Get out of here.
Whoop, there they come.
If I'm in a tunnel, it don't matter.
Yeah.
Build a wall right around me,
that was a movie with Sylvester Stallone about getting stuck underwater in the tunnel and a blowout or something like that. Yeah. And I'm going, I think I'd rather come spiraling in a plane. Pinned in this tunnel thing. I'm not sure about that. We'll see how it goes. Okay, lots of new disaster movies. Now, the sinking between my scream was, years ago, I go, how come I don't have a Linux, open source, blah, 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 device and everything for a smartphone, a tablet, and a laptop? So I was talking to Chris Wade about the tablet. I go, well, give me a tablet. He goes, well, tablets have different operating software. It's kind of, punted, and I don't know what the deal was. Ubuntu years ago were saying, they were promising for like a year that here comes these, you're going to buy all three of these devices and they're going to sync up with each other and they're going to be private. And I'm going, woohoo, I'm waiting on that. Yeah, sign me up with all the Samsung, Motorola, whatever the crap. I totally agree, don't care, because the second that I get these, I'm gone. When I had my restaurant in the 90s, the phone service was so bad. This is still when you had more monopolistic kind of, and it opened up to whatever, but it was so bad. But you couldn't get any other kind of communication system. You had a phone number. People want to order pizza. I'm some servant to these guys, and a lot of people were screwed more than me because I knew where they were working on. It was right out in front of the building, in the street there, on a main street downtown Phoenix. That I go out to the guys. There'd be like 6 guys standing around watching one guy do something, and I go in with pizzas, and I go, hey, here's some pizza, man. When you get to that phone number, make sure that's first. Not a problem. Got right on it. By the time I walked in, it's on. I'm going, yeah, that's what I thought. Pizza, very good currency. You want to know barter system? It's called pizza, okay? So I get all kinds of stuff done that way. But you're subservient to these guys, and it was so bad. I don't have a problem with the line technician, but it was so bad that I go, when I have an option, when I get an option to go to some other service, I am. Well, we'll be better. I go, I don't care. It's a principle. Screw you. So Cox Cable had all kinds of problems with them. I got another mesh network I don't care if it's worse, just not you. You need to have free market to make these kind of determinations of dissatisfaction with stuff. What else is there you're going to do? So that's my thing. Now, now we're getting into the privacy thing. What we've done, and privacy is not so much, I want my Jarvis, okay? Now what Derek has gotten, I got Arduino kits, 2 Arduino kits of things for the grandkids, really for me to learn. I teach them, and if you can teach a 6-year-old, hopefully he's not blazing by you too fast.
He'll have time to figure it out by the time he's late 20s, maybe. It's a real
and he teach me.
Yeah.
And then I got a Raspberry Pi for them, and I have a nice kit for it, and we kind of go through and we built it and plugged in the monitor, and they're Minecrafting, and they think this is cool as hell. And then their dad, my son, went and got another Arduino. And I was so jealous, I went and got one. Hey, man, you're not allowed to have that cool stuff, because I know what you were doing, because you were showing me these controllers that actuate. It's got a little pin, a little wire comes out and goes to something. It's like your thermostat. I could take a Raspberry Pi and these controllers, and I could automatically feed my chickens, have actuators do, for the fish. We do the aquaponics. It measures the salinity. It measures the, the humidity, the barometer, blah, 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 whatever the hell, and the algorithm, when this does that, do that. And you sit there and you code and program, and once you figure out little crap like that, and you're doing little robots, which you were showing me you're doing when you're a freaking teenager or something, and I'm going, this is the dream and what we expected as kids that watched Star Trek in the 60s. You grow up and you find out, oh, no, they don't really have that. You know what? If I can think it, that means it can be done.
Yeah,
and it's getting done exponentially. We are in the exponential hockey stick right now of what we dreamed about in the 60s. 2001 Space Odyssey, Moon Base Alpha, Space 1999, blah, blah, blah. All that stuff is now coming to fruition that we can now build for $50 on your desk. So what Derek did is we're sitting here right now looking at a big screen monitor up there that has 3 or 4 frames of here in your workshop, in the parking lot, all that kind of stuff. And then there's a couple you got in your home.
Yeah, and there's 3 at the house. Yeah, so I can see who's in my driveway at home.
So you can see what's that. And your wife looks and sees the cars that are here. And if she sees a bunch of cars at night, she knows you're not going to be leaving anytime soon. So it's kind of, so you can sit there and say, well, is that on a Nest thing? Our friend, Tonopah Bob, Bob's out there and he put in a bunch of Nest. He can monitor his house and a house he has in Massachusetts. He can monitor them from his phone. He's sitting there looking, it's good. And then we find out, it
goes up to their servers.
It goes up to their
servers to get the video, and that's what I didn't want. So I ended up kind of rolling my own solution.
So this is what happens. We were working in one of the rooms that we were, building walls and heating and doing whatever, a work area over there. And he has this monitor. It's a 19-inch monitor, little monitor. He's got a monitor there, and he just unplugs it from the wall, the electrical.
So that one's got 4 video cameras on it. So you're looking at the display.
No, I just want to make sure. I want people to understand what happens. He unplugs it. It goes black. No Ethernet, no nothing. He goes to another place where we weren't working. He plugs it in. Boom, and it boops up, and boom, there's the cameras and everything again. And I'm like, all right, explain this to me. Well, I got a Raspberry Pi here, and explain what happens.
Yeah, it's powered off. The monitor has a USB output, so it's enough to power the Raspberry Pi. So, yeah, it just boots up. It connects to the Wi-Fi.
Oh, so the Raspberry Pi is powered through the USB?
Yeah, it's powered by the monitor. The USB has a monitor. A lot of TVs have USB power on them too. So yeah, then it just connects to the Wi-Fi, and then it's just a script really that's running that loads up that thing. It's something.
So that script you got at Walmart somewhere or something?
No, I mean I searched online about how people were putting video on Raspberry Pi and found an app that could display the video, and then you just run multiple instances of that in different.
Yeah, it's a Grandma Adjust button. What you're telling me.
Well, it's not a Grandma Adjust button.
That's what I thought.
Sure, but
so this is something that we can work on, and what we're going to do for our family, kind of, so this may be a package deal of $1 billion on eBay, whatever.
Yeah. But then it's getting the video from home. So what I don't want to do is expose my cameras to the internet, right? I don't want this. This was where all these botnets came from, right? Everybody was getting these camera systems, just plugging them in. It was all default password. People are hacking into these video cameras and video systems, and they're just installing their own software on them.
Yeah, they're watching.
They have the default password. I didn't want it open to the internet, but I want to be able to see what's going on at home. So I'm using VPNs between here and there.
Okay, explain VPNs to people.
It's just an encrypted tunnel. So
virtual privacy network, which means what?
Network. It's just an encrypted tunnel where it's like a dial-up connection over the internet.
Mm-hmm.
So my router calls the other router, or vice versa, depending on
encrypted.
Yeah. And it creates this encrypted tunnel, so you can pass private IP traffic.
So it's like having an Ethernet, network. From 10 miles away at your house.
Right. Yeah. So when I'm here, I've got that tunnel, and I can access stuff at home. When I'm home, I can access the computers here, and none of it goes over the internet. I don't have to open up the ports. I mean, obviously the VPN is. The VPN call-in port is open, but that's all you have to secure, and then all the computers on either side are accessible to the other side. Securely? Well, I mean, nothing's secure.
Okay, but I mean, your Derek Pinky Square secure?
It's pretty good.
Okay, so we have a Raspberry Pi, that's all it is, plugged into a monitor, and all the scripting is such that it accesses your cameras at your work, or your build, whatever you call this, workshop or whatever, and your home, and on the monitors here, and most of his family here, they all see, you can see Donna in there, she's there, and your kids playing video game on the couch or whatever, and only you can see that, or your family here, and they can see what's going on here, you're good.
What do you shop for that you could otherwise buy at Amazon? Pretty much everything, right? Amazon has competitive pricing and they deliver, and that's a big plus. If you could plan ahead in your shopping, would you be interested in saving up to 33%? There's a catch. You have to do your shopping in Bitcoin. But imagine those savings. It's like a huge raise. All you have to do is go to saveitpurse.com. We've saved thousands, and you can too. Plan ahead and save. Saveitpurse.com. LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm. Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm.
Looking for a great real estate investment? Consider New Hampshire, which is ground zero for the Liberty Movement. Your first call should be to Mark Worden from Porcupine Real Estate. He's more than just a real estate agent. He's your New Hampshire concierge. Where are the best places to live? Do you want farm, city, the burbs, or forest? Do you want a duplex or multifamily building so that renters pay your mortgage? There are homes in all price ranges in New Hampshire, and Mark can help with financing too. Invest in liberty and property. Mark Worden can help.
PorcupineRealEstate.com.
The LRN.FM social media channels have been revamped. We've eliminated Facebook and focused on other platforms like Twitter and Mastodon, the decentralized alternative to Twitter. On our accounts, you'll find posts from multiple LRN.FM show hosts together in one place. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm, or better yet, move to the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm. I think you'll like it.
It's the Onion Radio News. An area man doesn't know what to do with all the extra ketchup packets. This is Doyle Redland reporting. After finishing his Big Bacon Classic combo, Erie, Pennsylvania resident and Wendy's patron Don Turnby, 38, expressed uncertainty today regarding what to do with all the extra ketchup packets. Turnby had asked for extra ketchup upon placing his order for a ketchup-necessitating Biggie fries.
Well, I knew it was too many ketchups because I usually only need 3 or 4 for my Biggie fries, but I just took them anyway.
At his nearby home, the Turnby pantry is crammed with hundreds of other restaurant condiments, including single-serving packets of Taco Bell mild sauce, Arby's horsey sauce, soy sauce, McDonald's Chicken McNuggets hot mustard sauce, pats of shed spread country crock from Ponderosa Steakhouse, and a selection of Smucker's jellies and jams from several area diners. Doyle Redland for the Onion Radio News, online at theonion.com.
Do you love Twitter? Make sure you favorite the LRN.FM Twitter account so you can receive our tweets at twitter.lrn.fm. That's twitter.lrn.fm.
It's time for Declare Your Independence with Ernest Hancock.
And the final segment on Declare Your Independence today, and it's, what is it? It's Wednesday. It's Wednesday, and I got a date here. It's the 13th, okay? The Beware the Ides of March is going to be Friday. I don't know what we're going to do then. We're going to have some fun. So, last segment, I know Derek is like, 3 hours. Oh, my God, we got to do 3 hours. Goes by quick, don't it?
It does, yeah.
Boom! Get a lot of stuff in, too. So we wanted to finish up on Raspberry Pi. What's the difference between Arduino and Raspberry Pi?
Arduino is a really small processor.
So it's just like
not a lot of internal memory. A Raspberry
is kind of overkill for a lot of stuff.
Arduino, there's a lot of supporting chips and stuff on the Arduino, but it's really just the single processor you're working with. And the Raspberry Pi is a full computer. It's got a CPU and separate
$35
memory and a multimedia processing thing, so it can decode video and.
So why would you do or Arduino's $3 then? I mean, how much are they?
No, Arduinos are more.
Screw them, man.
Yeah, I don't know what they're selling. I mean, you can get.
Well, see, is it like the Motorola board? They want you to get a Raspberry Pi. It's cheaper because it's got more stuff.
You can just buy a lot of times I'm doing an Arduino project. The Arduino is really just the software packages that you put on this particular chip that Atmel makes these chips that go on Arduinos. But you can just get the chip and program the chip directly. You don't need the Arduino development board with the USB and all that stuff. So I'll often just get the chip, and those are like $5, $3 to $5.
Okay, so now wait. You say program the chip. It's a hardware with a transistor, resistor, whatever kind of
just
path.
A chip, just a 16.
Okay, so what are you programming? Chip. Is there like a SD card that's commanding it or something?
No, you can get a programmer for the chip. Which are cheap too, and then plug it into USB. You plug it into USB. You stick the chip on the board.
Wait, folks! I want you to wait. Here it comes. Let's see if you recognize it. I go.
Yeah, you click the Grandma Just button. On
that's what I'm saying. It's going to be adjust. It always comes with adjust.
Well, even Arduino, the board, and using it because I don't use their software either to code or to code or to program usually, but I mean, their application, their Arduino application, but even that is like you got to install Java to run their thing. And
so a Raspberry is more convenient, which is where they get you.
Yeah.
Is more convenient because a Raspberry came from, I think it's Oxford. Well, then you're screwed already. And Oxford out of UK, they wanted to develop more programmers and get kids involved in this, that. So what they did is they said, can't we come up with a basic computer for really cheap that we can mass produce and people can. Then that was the Raspberry Pi.
Right.
And that's how you sneak in the stuff,
So the only reason that Raspberry Pi is really is not just a small computer and is more of a hobbyist computer is it's got a bunch of what they call general purpose input-output pins on it. So you can take the pins and you can hook an LED up to it and turn an LED light on and off from the console. So you can just type a command and turn an LED on.
And then you put commands of when you want it on and what's going to make it go on.
Yeah, then you write a whole program. But it allows you to interact. The Arduino is for interacting with other things, right? So it's got a bunch of pins on it. And you can measure analog inputs. You can hook a thermistor up to it, which is like a to measure temperature, or a photocell, which measures the amount of light, or you can hook LEDs up.
Which, when you buy these Arduino kits, comes with a light detector and a detector and a that thing and a that. It's all, and then you got breadboards that you do and kind of, so I'm learning about all this stuff, with my grandson.
But the Arduino, you put a whole program. You put the program on it, just runs the program you wrote. But a Raspberry Pi is a whole Linux operating system. So you plug a monitor, a keyboard into it, and you type your program into it.
Yeah, it's like a little board. It's about, 3-4 inches square, and it has an HDMI slot, so you just plugs into my big screen. Yeah. It has at least 2 USBs on it. It has a Wi-Fi, little chips you can put in. You got Wi-Fi. It's a computer.
Yeah.
So when we did this, and my 2 of my grandkids at the time, they were like 6 and 7, and we sat down, all right, today's the day. And within a couple of hours, they were playing Minecraft, with the little controller, and it was a full freaking computer.
Yeah.
And I go, oh my God. And then with all these pins that you can take sensors coming in and commands going out, well, all that robotic, you wanted the automation of whatever you can do, which he did with the security system. And the security, it's just a camera system. It's a monitoring system. So way it works is it Wi-Fi's through his router that VPNs, virtual privacy network, to his home that's encrypted, so you can have connected your home, your workspace, your whatever the hell you want to do, and it's not going to a cloud of the man. It's your data. Now when you start doing IPFS, take another drink, okay, then you have access through this little computer of all your memory and your data and your photos for your family, because that's what a lot of people use Facebook for, is to communicate with family and friends. And I go, you can have files that are for family, files that are for everybody, files for a certain select group of your whatever the hell you can do. And for the first time in my memory that I know of, certainly it's getting more grandma just buttony. We can set up these hacker spaces in here, and Ben will be here. We'll talk about this stuff, and I bet you could sell it. I bet this is kind of, man, woohoo, hook me up to where I can have access to my private encrypted family data that doesn't have to freaking go on the goddamn Facebook, Google, Amazon bullshit. I am like, hell no. I want to be able to bypass that and still get the same Jarvis convenience and the artificial you get voice recognition stuff. I got to get a tablet for doing a teleprompter so I can get 3 hours of Ernie down in the 5 minutes, pinky swear, and write it, and do skip to the end with Ernest Hancock news thing that we'll be doing eventually. And I got the teleprompter and everything, but I couldn't use the tablets. They were too old, whatever. So I got to get a new one, and I'll put that up, and I'll be able to play with that, and and all that. But I know I got to go through the man, but it has voice recognition on this tablet. So as I'm reading it, it recognizes my voice, and no matter how fast or slow I go, it'll keep the prompter up there, and I'm good. So I'm going, all this stuff is available through a Raspberry Pi. And you have your own cloud using IPFS.
Now, Raspberry Pi is kind of a class of computers, right? There's cheaper solutions than Raspberry Pi, depending on what you want to do. The advantage the Raspberry Pi has for $35,
because it can do everything.
It's got a Wi-Fi in it, and it's got a really good video. It's got an HDMI output, so you can plug it into your TV for HDMI video. But there's a $5 all-in-one computer that we've used. We used it for the Bitcoin Wi-Fi that we did at PorkFest. There was just a $5 computer because we didn't need the HDMI. We didn't need the multimedia processing stuff.
This is the kind of thing that Derek did. He goes up to Jackalope in Arizona out in the middle of the freaking nothing. He put up some, booster up on top of the mountain kind of thing, and he was broadcasting Wi-Fi down into the campground. People have Wi-Fi so they can do Bitcoin
Everybody
transactions.
that wanted to use the phone had to go climb the mountain to get a signal. So it was constantly people just going up the mountain. Well, we took a Wi-Fi hotspot with a solar panel to keep it going, put it up on a tree stump on top of the hill, and then we shot we had a Ubiquiti Wi-Fi access point thing. We shot up at it to bring the signal down. So we had an Ethernet we could plug into down there coming off that hotspot, and then we were able to broadcast from down there a Wi-Fi access point so everybody down in the valley can get Wi-Fi.
In the middle of nothing. Then, a year before that, you had the megalith or moneylith or whatever the heck it was you had. What did you call that thing?
It was the money. It wasn't the moneylith. Was the original one that you guys did. This was the metalith.
The metalith, all the things for all the money. What it was CNN did a thing on this.
Yep.
It is a machine that dispensed ammunition and silver and tampons and pregnancy tests.
Robert sponsored that, and he had a bunch of gold in there. There was some bullets in there. There was a marijuana test kit in there.
But it had to have access to the internet for the transactions. You paid in Bitcoin, get money and change, put in money, get Bitcoin change. It was amazing.
two-way conversion between Bitcoin and cash.
That was, man, Derek was way ahead of the system on that one. You had that machine in your living room for months.
Yeah,
so
it's filling up the garage.
So then you go up there, and you had to have communication. Well, then the following year or two later at PorkFest, because the Wi-Fi sucks butt there. Yeah. It's so bad for so long, and it's because they got a monopoly on it, and they're just kind of, what are you going to do? Well, he went in, had a microwave transmission from some tower you bought, bandwidth coming in, and for $25 in a you sold it to the vendors to be able to do transactions. Yeah. For credit cards, Bitcoin, whatever the hell.
Connect to it and sign up with Bitcoin, and we didn't even know who our customers were.
And then the guy didn't like it. He was like, he's getting Crosby to come out and say, well, you can't do it. Go, well, make his work, and then we'll talk about it, Yeah. So what it was is that Derek, taking these little boards and everything, what did he do? He provided Wi-Fi for PorkFest, for Jackalope, for his own security systems, private, off the grid, using $35, build our own pirate freaking networks without us having secret microphones and stuff. And every time that's why we're here and what we're working on. A pirate's life for me.
Since time began, tyrants have taken aim at personal